Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. I'm Nick Eatman. It is Wednesday, December 11th. It's a holiday around here. Mickey Spagnola's birthday. Big deal. I wonder if we're going to have a big party for him on Mix Shots. Definitely got to watch that out. That's coming up 2 shows from now after this. You can check that out. I'm sure it's going to be a party, of course. All right, let's talk about Cowboys, Panthers, Cowboys injuries, Cowboys rest of the season. All that good stuff. We're here for it. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. And let's get right after it. Let's go just see how many calls we can take today. I don't think you can have a game where you play Carolina and you can't talk to Carolina. So let's start it off here with Carolina. He's in somewhere in Texas. Van Zant, Texas. He's on the move right now.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. That's from you and my guy out there in Texarkana, man.
What's up?
How you doing, Randy? How you doing, Nick, man? Everything going all right?
Everything's going good. Are you going to be able to make it back to Carolina? Are you going to the game? How's this work?
Man, I mean, I've had plans to think of, but oh, man, I got so much stuff going on. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it this year.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, the Cowboys have things going on, too. So let's talk about them. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. Oh, man. I don't even know how. I'm almost lost for words, man. That's why I didn't call yesterday, because I didn't know what to even say. I didn't know how to even come on to it. And I was on the edge of my couch, man, with that minute and some change left, with that field goal. I mean, that punt happening, and I'm just like, oh, that's all we got to do is do this right. And we actually can knock them out. My neighbor's a Bengals fan. He ain't called me yet. Thank God. He ain't got on my nerves about it yet. But I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I know it's coming,
Probably.
man.
I mean, when you've never won anything, you know, like
there you go.
You know, ever, and then you know, and your team. And let's face it, you know, they're not any good. I mean, they got good players, but they're not any good. And so
what they say your record is who you say you are.
You are.
That's why we lost. That's why we lost, because our record is who we say we are.
You can't put things together. You can't, you know. I mean, and they were fighting, they were battling, but you know,
a winnable game, like man.
Oh,
just
of course.
Win. You know, just win. And like I'm with you. I heard you on the show the other day. You said that fumble that Diggs made, that was a fumble. They said it wasn't a fumble. Of course, we got it back, but that was a fumble. I mean, come on, man. He even tried to juke out of it. He had the ball. Anyways,
I agree. I thought that was a bad that was a bad call there, and I think that was one that should have been looked at a little bit further.
You talking about yelling at the TV?
Yeah.
Oh, I was screaming. I was all those holding calls not being called. I mean, of course, we got a couple calls on our side too, but I mean, it was like out of hand, man. It was out of hand. I'm glad I'm not a player, so I get to say that. They refs can be mad at me all they want.
Yeah.
They did a rough job. Well, that was I don't know what that was. I don't even know. But anyways, right? So, you know, I'm going to try to be positive. My boy Rico, he had 137 yards.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah, he was
I said he was going to do it again, right? I did say that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, what I did say is if they score 28 points or less, we can win. And guess what? That didn't come true. So
27.
yeah, my spirits is hurt, but looking forward to the Panthers game. I think it's going to be another fight, man.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that. I think that, you know, even though I hate the Carolina Panthers, I think they're going to come in there and try to beat us.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I believe that only way we win this game is with turnovers and running the ball and keeping the ball out of Bryce Young's hands, because he's actually turned into a decent quarterback. A lot of people don't want to say that, but you got to give the guy credit. He's out there throwing the ball, getting out the pocket. He's not perfect, but he's a force. He's actually a force, especially because he can run it. You know how we are with running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Just like Burrow, stepping up in that pocket. So, I just wanted to call in and say, go Cowboys.
Okay.
I hope you're having a good week. And shout out to all my storyliners out there. I'll be joining the team soon, y'all. So,
All right.
Give me a little spot.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good, Carolina. You be safe on the road. Appreciate that. The Panthers. It just looks different. I mean, the record doesn't. They're not winning any games, but it looks different from what they were doing last year. I mean, I think they're probably at about the same record, but you could just tell. You take the Chiefs to the wire. You're battling the Eagles on the road. They're buying in and they're playing hard and still trying to win games. So with that, that's going to be a fight. This is one that they probably say, hey, look how we play this game. Look how we play in this game. So let's go and play Dallas and let's win. And I'm sure that's a mindset for them. But the Cowboys should feel it on the other side too. They should kind of think, hey, this is a game they could go win, and this is a young quarterback. You got to get after them. And so, if they prepare the right way this week, it's a game that they should go win. All right, Gary in New Mexico is next. Gary, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Great. How are you, man?
Hey, that was a fun game Monday night, except for the end. I mean, I enjoyed watching them run the ball. That part's getting better, watching some of these young linemen improve. I'm trying to keep it positive. Which brings me to my trivia question for you for this week, because it is a very sobering answer to this trivia question. It ought to be pretty easy.
Okay.
But you remember, let's go back to 1996.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers. Remember the playoff game, divisional playoff at Carolina 96. That to me is the worst loss in Cowboys history, bar none, because you have a Super Bowl champion losing to a second-year expansion team. Okay, here's the background for the trivia question. Going into that playoff game in 1996, Dallas was the defending Super Bowl champs. They were coming off of their 32nd postseason victory of the past 30 years. That means during the Super Bowl era, up to that point, the Cowboys averaged more than a playoff win a year for 30 straight years.
Okay.
How many playoff victories have the Cowboys had since then?
7?
4.
4?
They've won 4 playoff games.
2 for Romo, 2 for Romo,
Yeah.
2 for Dak. That's right.
They went from averaging more than a playoff win a year. Now they average 1 playoff victory every 7 years for the last 28 years, all in the first round. I mean, that's ridiculous. And there's 2 common denominators and all that, and that's Jerry and Steven. But that's another show for another time.
And Rowdy.
But yeah. I mean, it's sad. And they do some good things. They draft and develop well, but then they send 4th-round picks for players that never play. They build up good teams, and then they do something stupid for for some unknown reason that just sort of messes things up. And it's frustrating as a fan. And here's my point for this year's team, and this is what's so frustrating. They've had all year to figure this stuff out, okay? I don't think they constructed this team very well, but I don't think they've managed it very well as constructed. We've all known that Rico Dowdle was the best back, but we don't get to see him as a featured back until the 11th game of the season. He should have been – it shouldn't have taken him this long to figure out this running game. I know the offensive line was young and they're doing some things, but Rico's clearly your best back. But yet we want to mess around with Dalvin Cook and Deuce Vaughn and Ezekiel Elliott, and I don't know who's to blame for that. Is it the management? Is it the coaches? But it was malfeasance of the team.
Time out.
And if we would have –
Gary, hold on. Time out.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Rico's been starting all year. I mean, he's been starting pretty much all year long.
But not as a featured back. They've been feeding him the last 3 weeks, and look how much better they've looked. And maybe there's more to it because I'm not in the building. I don't know what's going on. But
I think Rico's a solid running back that is pretty good. He's a number 2 running back for any team in the league. And
I agree.
And so he's had moments. I like him, and I think he's playing better, and I think they've got some things figured out, especially with Cooper Rush and all that. But he's not. I mean, he'll fumble the ball, here and there, and he'll drop it. And I mean, he's a good, solid back, and he's running it well, and he's got some confidence going now. But I think he's had some chances too, and I'm not just putting it on him or whatever. I think they've had to manage this thing the right way, and I think they're coming together a little bit now on the running game. Obviously, too little, too late. But I just don't think it was like he was the backup the whole season, and now he comes in. It's like, what have we been doing the whole time, But I don't know what's going on with Zeke. I don't know what's going on with Zeke. I don't think this is working, and I don't think the Cowboys want to do what probably should be done. I don't think they want to.
I agree.
That.
I agree with you on that, and I think that's part of the problem. But hey, they're not as far away as people think. Things can turn quickly in this age of the NFL. So, like I say, I like the positive things I'm seeing from some of the young guys, and we always got next year, right?
Always. You always have next
year.
All
right, man.
All right, thanks.
Enjoy the show. Thank you, Nick.
Love the trivia questions. That one wasn't as good. It was fine. It just I wasn't ready for it, I guess. Man, four playoff wins. And I knew that. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good there, Chris. Thanks for piling on. Dak has 2 wins in the play. And he did say all in the first round. Had some divisional games in there, but nobody cares about that. I remember when Wade Phillips was trying to convince the media and fans, I guess, that when you're in the divisional round, it's like a playoff win, like when you get a bye, because you got a bye. So it's like getting a playoff win. And everybody was like, no, that's not. I mean, good try. And your point is valid, but you don't get a playoff win for that. All right. Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida, the co-host
What's up, Nick?
of the show. What's up?
Hey, man, I wanted to extrapolate a little bit on what I said yesterday about Micah. You kind of defended him, and I was totally on the same path with you. I liked seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked seeing him pissed off.
I thought you did.
Okay.
I didn't think you did. It was more about you're obviously responding to somebody who didn't like that. That's the So
and I was like, I want to see that. I want to see Michael Irvin out there screaming and yelling, and pissed off after he loses a game. And Micah put it all out there yesterday. And then seeing poor Demo go down, man, and hearing the injury news, ooh, that's a shame, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's bad. And if you're gonna do it, you'd like, it's like, Trayvon Diggs had the injury week 3. Sam Williams had it in training camp. They should be ready to go. But man, have it in December. It's gonna be
a year and a half.
It's
probably.
gonna be hard.
Whole season, maybe.
Now let's remember this. Like Michael Gallup, who's a receiver, he had the injury in I think it was January the 2nd against the Cardinals at the end of the season. And that what was that, 2021? Maybe I don't. My years get kind of confusing when it gets to this.
Because you're getting old.
Well, I'm getting old. I can tell you the difference between 88, 89, 90, all that stuff. But these last 2 or 3 years, I'm like, I don't remember. But it was one of these years that he, one of those games he got hurt, and he came back like week 3, week 4. So
yeah, but was that too early for him? And we know he didn't have a good year when he came back, and everybody said he was ready, but then he didn't play very well.
Fair, but
then the next year he was out, right?
Yeah, but he might have had some other things going on. I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's fair. But Gallup's not built like Demo. I mean, I know that.
No.
As far as just the mental focus and all that. So we'll see. I mean, but then again, I mean ACL, MCL, PCL. I mean.
Yeah, it was all of it, almost total knee, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, I'll be saying some prayers for him. Hey, to change the news, something a little happier. You got a good story about Patrick Creighton. I always liked watching him play. Him and Roma were fun to see together.
All right.
And I'll let you guys go and get lots of calls. Talk to you later, Nick. Bye.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I said this the other day about Patrick Creighton. I did tell the story, so I feel like I'm repeating myself, but just the game in 2009 where he was demoted twice for 2 positions, a punt returner and receiver, in the same week. He lost 2 positions in the same week, and he wasn't happy about it. and he comes back in the next game against the Falcons and scores 2 touchdowns, one as a punt returner and one as a receiver. Just kind of goes to show, stay focused, stay the course, keep your head up, and keep doing the right thing. And I feel like I told this story. Somebody asked about superstitions. I know he always had to eat gummy worms and stuff like that. I don't have any other really stories. I mean, I know he was one in college that, you know, he was kind of the pet cat by a couple of scouts that just had found him in Northwest Oklahoma, and he had done everything: punt return, kick return, wide receiver, quarterback. I mean, he did it all, and he was a good player for the Cowboys. A good solid player. You know, everyone remembers him for the drops or a couple of plays there in that Giants playoff game, which is unfortunate. An unfortunate part of that is he had great hands, and he's known for drop. You know, happens like that. But yeah, I mean, he's still around doing some stuff, and he'd be good if he had the time and he wanted to do it. He'd be good on these shows, with, you know, like Jesse and all them, because he's not afraid to tell you what he thinks. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to Jeremy in Washington, D.C. is next.
Hey, yo, Nick.
What's up?
What's up, man?
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
What's up, man? How that squirrel doing?
I think he made it. I think the squirrel made it. You know, either that or he didn't make it and somebody cleaned it up. But I think he made it. They always make it. You know?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
For a backstory, if you didn't listen, Jeremy asked me if I'd heard anyone. I said, last was Friday. I said I might have heard a squirrel this morning. He was running under the truck. I didn't see him. I didn't see anything, so I didn't hear the bump, but, you know, whatever. I don't know. I think he made it. I think he's good. Let's just assume.
You didn't hurt nobody today, did you?
Nope. Not today. Not today. Knock on wood.
That's good.
Day's not over yet. So.
I know, right? It's still early.
I mean, you know who you really need to ask? I mean, you ask when you call in and Chris answers. I mean, ask Chris if he heard anyone. You know, that's a little.
I just asked Chris, do he stay out of trouble?
Ask fair, and ask if he's hurting anyone, because he might. Just kidding. What's going on, man? What do you got?
On Call of Duty. But I don't really got much today. I just wanted to know, like, is there a reason why we don't like put Kevontae Turpin in like situations like when we had Cole Beasley? Because I don't understand why we keep throwing them deep passes to a guy that's like 5'8", and the defenders are 6'2". So I just want to know, like, is there, like, I don't understand, like, why we can't do, like, the little zig routes, dink and dunk routes like we used to run with Cole Beasley. Like, why we can't do none of that with my man Torpedo?
I've got some answers to that. I'm not saying that they'll be right, but first of all, it's nothing against Turpin, because I don't know if you've ever had, other than Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper and Cole Beasley are probably your best route runners you've ever had here. Cole Beasley knew how to run routes, and he knew how to run routes in this offense to the highest level. And of course he did, because that's how a guy that looks like him can play in the NFL for that long, because he understands concepts and he understands how to run routes. And I'm not saying Turpin does it. I'm saying Beasley did it better than anyone. That's what set him apart. And so that's what helped him get in there. Turpin doesn't run routes like that. He's not as natural of a receiver. Now, why throw passes deep like that?
Did he run? What type of routes did he run?
I get it.
But he was in the CFL, right?
No, USFL, one of those.
Turpin, USFL. What type of routes did he run there? Because he was the leading receiver for that league. So I'm just like, let's mix in some of those routes, the stuff that he's familiar with.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And also, when you are going to throw deep passes to him, can you put it in the field of play? I mean, there's 53 yards wide. You know, I mean, let's throw it in the 53 yards that you can, you know, make a play in. Throwing it
he caught the one when he was in the slot. He caught that one in the slot, right?
And I'm with you. I'm just saying, if you're going to run him deep, let's don't throw it to the trainers. I would throw it where he can go make a play. But I'm not opposed to the vertical throws, because he's got that kind of speed. You've got to be able to push the ball down the field. Just you can't run him that close to the sideline because if the wind and it was open, the roof was open. If the wind is swirling, he might fall down and he might actually get pushed out there. It's not going to take much for a corner to shove him out of bounds. So I know. I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm not saying he can do the Cole Beasley type stuff to that level. But we're seeing them do some stuff. I mean, he took a direct snap the other day. He was basically the quarterback of a play. I'm
that
for that.
Wildcat was serious, man. I like that one.
I'm for it. Do it again, but this time give it to the guy. Give it to CD coming around the corner or something. Just keep making plays like that.
Or make throw it. Sweet flicker.
I don't know about that. All right, Jeremy.
All right, Nick.
Have a good one.
Nice talking to you, buddy.
You too. All right. Turpin is a tough one because, I mean, like, you can't just give him everything. I mean, he's got to figure it out too. He's got to process some things. He'll have a false start for you. I mean, like, but he's a good player, and he's a dynamic athlete. They're still just figuring out what to do. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in free agency next year. He will be a restricted free agent. It seems like for me, you have three options. You can just give him a regular tender, and if somebody signs him, you can match the deal, but you won't get any compensation. And I think if for a guy that's one of the fastest in the NFL, I think somebody would definitely take that. Then you can also do a second round tender, which that's about $5 million a year, $6 million, something like that. And if you lose them, then you get a second round pick. And then of course you can do a first round tender, which I don't think they would do that. Because not that anyone would take them, it's just that it may be a little bit more than they want to pay. Or they could just give them a deal altogether. I probably would do that right now. Just say, just forget free agency. We'll just give you a 3-year deal right now. 3-year, 14, 15 million, something like that. I probably would lock him up. I just think he's too dynamic of a weapon, and he'll continue to figure it out and continue to work on it. All right, let's go to Tamara in Des Moines, Iowa.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing. Haven't called in for a while. Been busy, and then just I've also been like cautiously optimistic about the team. So I kind of didn't want to jinx anything by talking about it too much.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, but of course with me, I do a show every day. We kind of have to. But I understand. I definitely get it. I get that thing. But it was almost there. I mean, it was there, and I can't imagine what this show would have been like this week if they would have won that game. They would have won that game. That would have been fun. But
it would have been lights out.
Yeah.
It's been good. And somebody said last week about not drinking the Kool-Aid, but really wanting to. And I was right about there, but I didn't drink any. No matter what flavor, no matter how much ice they put in it, I wasn't quite there yet. And now I'm like not surprised.
No.
But
now we're drinking something else. So yeah.
Bitter Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And then Rob called in and said something. Somebody was saying something about signing McCarthy. We should go ahead and just sign him, give him a extended contract. And then Rob is, smart. Rob was like, no, not yet. We wait, and Rob mentioned something about him having 5 years to make things happen, and you just can't seem to get there. I always, for whatever reason, Rob always makes sense to me. But here's the thing. My thing is not so much that. It's more like I just feel like it's his play calling and his decision making. And I know that he's got a Super Bowl. I know that, but not for the Cowboys. And
right.
It's just frustrating. And so that's why I wouldn't want to see him get signed. And it won't surprise me if he doesn't get signed next year either. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of these things, but so that's just where I am at with that. And of course, I'm always going to be Cowboys. So now that was my not so fun thing. But now I have something kind of fun. So I have a lot of family in Oklahoma and Texas, and my Oklahoma family, she'd be my second cousin, my my cousin's daughter. She posted, one of her children posted a letter to Santa. And, when he's at that age where they don't really understand what Santa can bring and what Santa really can't bring, And so he writes his letter to Santa, and the first 5 things are all Cowboys related. He wants a T-shirt, shorts, a hoodie, socks, and shoes. Never didn't say jersey, but he said all those other things. And I didn't even know he was a Cowboys fan. And they were like, "Oh, it's kind of a surprise to us too. We're not sure where he picked that up because they're college, don't really follow NFL." So they're like, "We're not really sure where we got that. Maybe a friend's house or something." But anyway, so he on his list next with $10,000 and 10,000 bags of chips. Which he makes me laugh. So my husband and I talked. Huh?
Sounds like my son. I mean, that's something he would ask for. So, all right.
We talked to my husband, and we sent a box of jerseys for he and his brother and his 2 sisters for Christmas from Santa.
That's
more Cowboys fans to get frustrated later.
That's okay. That's okay. At least thanks for the call, and always good to have more fans there in Iowa. And that's good that he's asking for T-shirts and things like that. Things you can get, jerseys and stuff like that. I'm just glad you're not asking for wins against the Eagles or the Bengals or something like that. It's gonna be hard for Santa to produce that. I would just ask for healthy players, but even that stuff. Let me go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back to answer some more calls. See ya.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant, is back at the Star. Join us every Friday and Saturday night through December 21st for a spectacular holiday show. Don't miss out. You can visit stardistrict.com for more details. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Back to Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up, man? You've been holding a little bit. How you doing?
Hey, Nick. I'm all right, man. I'm just a little down in the dumps about this Overshown thing.
Yeah.
I was kind of resigned to losing and missing the playoffs several weeks ago. My kind of joy for the season, whatever was left of it, was just in watching individual guys grow and thrive. Yeah. And, Overshown was maybe not this season, but he's on track to be an all-pro in future seasons. And now with this injury, he might not play till 2026. That's going to hamper his development further. Can't get his body chiseled the way he wants to and set up right because he's got to focus on recovery. And so, this is a big detour in his career, and it's just got me absolutely gutted. I haven't felt really much in probably about a month as far as joy or anger or anything about this team. It's just kind of been, well, that figures, whatever kind of feeling. And this just has me absolutely tore up on the inside.
I hear you. I mean, because a lot of people have kind of realized this year is just it's not working out. It's not gonna be for this year. But everyone thing that you get excited about is for next year. And so this feels like this injury was like dipping into the savings account. You know what I mean? Like this is for next year. You know what I mean? Now you're messing up next year. I'm trying to get excited for next season, and we're already doing things that that will mess up next year. But I'm not gonna say that he won't be back at some point next season, and his body will be right. I mean, his body was right this year. He was ready to go, and he figured it out. I understand it's a tougher injury, in a different timetable, but I'm just not counting that guy out for anything. He's just he's gonna be
the
fine.
good news is there's no nerve injury, right? So there's no Jalen Smith type issues going on there. He should still be able to move laterally, and once he gets right, it's just a question of when that'll be. I did want to talk about McCarthy real quick. Just being respectful, I'm not going to dog the guy or anything, but I'm just not sure he puts the team in the best position to win on a consistent basis. You don't want your coach to cost you games or to not really optimize what you've got heading into games going on the field. And, case in point, we waited all year. We all wanted Dowdle to get more touches. I know they were behind in a lot of games, but they waffled between Zeke and Cook and Dowdle and all this stuff. And it's like, we all knew that Dowdle was the main guy. So, what took so long to get to that conclusion? And then, within the game, you've got that last drive or second to last drive, whatever it was, where, he cranks out 13 yards, 14 yards on first down, and you throw it 3 times with the backup quarterback. I just don't know if he's done a great job at putting his team, at least this season, in the best position to win. I know there's been a lot of injuries and stuff, so that's not all on him. But, you just see these things, and it makes you wonder a little bit.
Yep, makes you wonder a lot. Now earlier in the show, Gary from New Mexico called and kind of said the same thing, and I stopped him and I said, Rico has been starting all year long, and he's been getting a lot more opportunities. It's not like he was Barry Sanders every time he's getting in. Like some of it's on him as well, and the running game is gotten better, and they figured out how to do it better. So I'll give a little bit of a pass there than to say he's been backing up the whole time. But I don't have an excuse for the 14-yard run on first down and then 3 straight passes. I don't have because when they did drive the ball, they were driving it mixed, running, passing, passing. And so to pass after a 13-yard run, I don't know. I didn't like it. I think there's a lot of, they think we're going to do this, so watch this.
Exactly.
And,
and that's why also you see a screen pass to Zeke as well. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That one doesn't. That experiment, it needs to change. I'm just going to say that. And it was a good try. It's not there.
Zeke should have been gone as an example after he missed meetings. I know he's been great for the franchise over the years and all that, but you can't do that. Several meetings you're late, you're missing. You got to make an example of somebody like that at some point. And I don't know if that's GM, coach, whatever, but that's inexcusable to me as well. But that's all I got, man. So have a good one.
Appreciate it. Let's go to Zach in Atlanta. We're going to quickly move around here. Zach in Atlanta. How you doing?
Nick, hey, man, listen.
Uh-oh.
Everybody questioned the front office, the decisions. What are we doing with trading away our 4th-round picks? Why have they done the things that they've done? But you know what? I had a revelation, and I saw the vision. Halfway through this season, they saw a 3-7 Carolina Panthers team ahead on the schedule, and they said, you know what? We need all the deets. We need all the secrets. Get us Jonathan Mingo. We'll sell the 4th-round pick. Hell, we'll sell the farm to secure a win. And all the behind-the-scenes screenplays and whatever that the offense is going to do, Mingo's going to be our mole. He's going to get us a win this weekend. I think so. He's going to be in all the meetings. He's going to have the PowerPoint presentations, and he's got to do his thing on the field and off the field in preparation. The front office knew what they were doing. I'm a believer. I'm sold. I'm putting down the torch and the pitchfork. My tomatoes are no longer in my hand. I'm going full steam ahead. And actually, no, I just blacked out. What just happened there, Nick? I don't even know what just happened.
I thought it was a promo for like WWE Raw or something like that, like a Nitro.
For one night only.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like you had it all kind of figured out. Hey, I was going with it. You know what I mean? At this point in the year, if you're gonna have a season where you sign a guy earlier in the afternoon, and then he makes like one of the worst plays that could lose a game, and nobody can even pronounce his name and all that, and he ruins a blocked punt.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, what is it with our special teams guys over the years making plays one way or another? We signed or traded for Noah Igmanogany, and he had the first touchdown of the season last year off a blocked field goal, and then great play, great freak play for a special teams player. And then this year you got the aforementioned gaff on the punt. So anyway,
it's just the teams. Great plays that aren't. I said it yesterday. Yeah. I mean, Wanye Thomas takes a kickoff return for a touchdown. And, CeeDee Lamb did that in 2020 against the 49ers. And it was okay. But in this case, and it's not okay because when you're up by one is not safe. You don't need to be scoring.
It's funny, man. You made a quip a few years ago on the break where you asked Hellman because Fossil was making some calls and seemed like he had, more of McCarthy's ear than he should have during the game.
Yeah.
And you were like, Hellman, what are the three phases of the team? And he said offense, defense, special teams. And you're like, yeah, that's the order of priority. Special teams does have a big impact, but it should. Man, if you're losing games on special teams, it's that much more frustrating.
I set him up. I set him up for that. Yeah, I did that. Did that with my son too when he wanted to wear 0 in basketball, and I said count to 3 for me, and he said 1, 2, 3. I was like, right, you didn't start with 0.
Say 0.
It's not a number. Yeah. You don't get it. I'm putting my foot down. So he wears 4 for back.
But we'll see. Continuing to have fun in the season. Last thought I have, Panthers on the schedule this week. Can you tell me about Vinny Testaverde and or Andy Dalton, journeyman quarterbacks? Testaverde was probably the first quarterback I remember of my fandom. I was 7 or 8.
Wow.
Walking into purgatory.
That's awesome.
Quincy Carter, all those days. So
all right.
Any stories on them? Thanks.
Yep. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Zach. And, if you can't have fun with this, what can you do? The thing about Testaverde, one thing I remember, and it's weird now because the quarterback just, he talks on Thursday. Dak, he talks on Thursday and he talks after the game. Vinny Testaverde talked every day. Every day that the locker room was open, he didn't just talk every day. He stood at his locker and answered questions like it was Monday and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And he stood there and answered questions the entire time. And he was really nice and cordial and answered the same thing probably over and over and over, and people would come in and talk, and he had all kinds of stories. And I mean, I thought that was amazing. He was just a pro's pro. He really was. And Parcells knew what he had with him, and he knew that he could still throw it, and he did. He had a pretty nice season. The stats were there. As for Andy Dalton, and the only I don't have a lot of good words. I remember actually standing behind him when he got found out that he had COVID in 2020, and he was starting quarterback, and then they were like, "Well, you have to go to your car," and he threw his hat down. He was mad. I was like, "Well, what happened to him?" And then like an hour later, it's like, "Cowboys, Andy Dalton has COVID. He's not going to play this game." And what a weird. And I'm about to get tested too because we're about to go somewhere. I forget where we were going, some trip, but that was just, such a weird season. And he was kind of similar to Vinny in that way about being a pro and just understanding his role and all that. And then when he got in the game, he could do some things. And of course, he's there in Carolina now still. So, and doing those same things, understanding what role that he's got. All right, let's go to Rob in Vegas.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Rob.
How's everything?
Everything? Well, everything is not great. Everything is not great. But overall, starting with health, everything seems pretty good.
There you go.
Wait. My health, not the players' health. Players' health, no. Not good.
Yeah. I call him because Dylan called, and I totally agree with Dylan.
Yeah.
You know, it is. I look at the head coaches, and there's been a fascination with the hot shot play caller. You know, everybody's looking for, and the only guy that I can think of that's having success at it right now is Sean McVay, but they haven't really done anything since they won a Super Bowl. And I look at, you know, even Andy Reid, Matt Nagy's the OC. It's Andy Reid's offense. But, you know, I look at to me, a walk-around coach is what you need. There's just too much stuff going on.
Yeah, I agree with this.
And the problem I have with Mike McCarthy is it's like he's so engrossed with that stupid play chart in front of him that he's oblivious to what is actually going on in the game. And we've seen it this year, last year, the year before. And what I mean is his situational football is awful. The flow of the game, we'll just take the last game. Everybody saw the best thing they were doing was running. Everybody saw how the defense, you know what? Going into the game, we thought this was going to be, if they give up 35.
Yeah.
No, it was 20 points. So you could rely on your defense. They were grinding it out. They were playing hard. You had them. And that 5 minutes, with 5 minutes left, that was the drive that you were going to run the timeout. If they're going to get the ball back, they're getting it back down the touchdown. This is our drive. And he worked the drive totally wrong. We've seen this in so many games. We've seen this where we talked about it, where even the Giants game where you got the lead and then all of a sudden you're like,
you're throwing it.
Why are we letting this team have a chance? The Washington game, same thing. That's my biggest gripe with him is I just don't think he has control of the team. You know, Belichick, Bill Parcells, if they heard that call come across the headset, that automatic or whatever they were talking about, he would have clicked that button and said, hell no, return only final, or we're going to run the ball. I remember Parcells, you know, you would hear the stories, he'd click on and say, we're running the ball. I remember him taking the play calling duties away from Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of coach we need more than ever, especially with the type of management you have. It's a different animal. I just watched Jerry Jones praise Bill Belichick like he was God, and I'm staring at it saying, then go get God. What are you doing? You just told us he's still fire. He's still got 6 rings. He could run a billion-dollar corporation. Go get him. He's waiting. He's sitting right there saying, what are we doing? Let's go. And I just say to myself, if you then why don't you do it? And the only thing I can think of is you don't want to be uncomfortable because you would have to change your business model. Your business model when you hire that guy is a little different than if you hire Mike McCarthy. And that's the only thing about it. I don't think he wants to be uncomfortable. And if they lose to Carolina, you want to see change quick, embarrass a billionaire because you can't challenge them with money or fame, but embarrass them and lose to a Carolina team that it's the first time I think they're favored in 2 years, and then watch what happens. So that's my only thing. Go get a big-time coach for a big-time program, and Mike McCarthy is not it.
All right, Rob. Thank you. Appreciate it. I agree with a lot of the play calling stuff there and the flow of the game and that 5-minute drive. I was with you on that part as well. I think it's time. That time of the game, you want to bleed out the clock one way or another. The game's tied. Go down there and try to get a field goal or touchdown. But whatever you do, make them do some stuff. Make them call timeouts. Make them have to start worrying about time and what happens when they get the ball back and all that. And you do that by running the ball, and it's fine. You can do it because you are running the ball and you're running it with success. So, I thought that was mismanaged right there. There's always that point in the middle of the fourth quarter that seems like it's been an issue there. And I think, I think McCarthy's one of those guys that says it's like the people that say I want to do I want to be on a diet. I want to be on a diet. I want to do this. I want to eat healthy and all this. And then they get double cheeseburgers, because it's like you say you want to do this, but really you don't. You say you want to run it and you want to be that running team, but you really don't. You don't want to call plays that way. That's not the way you want to call plays. And then in the post-game press conference, he says, I wish I would have gotten the ball to Rico more. That's you. You can do that. You can do that, And so that's what's kind of frustrating. I get it. Now, getting after that, we'll wait with that. But I will say this about Jerry not being comfortable and all that. Belichick's not going to be really any different than what they had with Parcells. Okay, and Belichick, if he were to be the coach of whoever he's going to be the coach at, he'll say, "This is what I want to do. This is the way it's going to be," and all that. And if it's whoever it is, if it was the Cowboys, they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that." Oh no, we're not doing that. Sorry. Nope. Not doing that. Good try. Not doing that. So, and the same thing happened with Parcells. You should have seen some of the press conferences that Parcells had to deal with. I got to go to break one more time here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back to get 2 more calls, so it's got to be quick.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, back here on the Cowboys Storyline. We got 2 more calls to get here in just a few minutes, so we're going to have to roll through this. Josh in Chicago, keeping the streak alive. What's up?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow I go back to work, though, so I'm not going to be there, be on the calls Thursday or Friday. I'll have to listen
Good streak. You did a nice job.
Yeah, it lasted for a while. I might be there on Sunday, though. Hopefully get my copy of If These Walls Could Talk signed, especially some of those Bill Parcells stories.
Oh, yeah.
There's some good ones in there for anyone who hasn't read the book.
Thank you.
The only thing I wanted to say, the only point I wanted to make, I'm bummed about Overshone, but I'm hoping Damone Clark can get back to form and get back into some reps. And if I could re-sign anyone right now, I would get Eric Kendricks re-signed because I think he's really smart. I think he's helped some of these younger guys grow, like Leo Fau and Overshone.
Yeah.
And I think Clark's got an opportunity to learn from one of the really good high IQ vets, and I'll take the call off the air so that way somebody else can get in.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'd like to see Damone Clark as well. I want to see, he's been inactive the last couple of games, but this is a big moment for him. So, we'll see what happens if he can play well in these last 4 games and probably help his cause, whether it be this team or another team. The Kendricks thing, I don't hate it. The only thing about signing players right now is just you don't know what the defense is going to be. You don't know who's coming back and what the coach's situation is. So that's what makes it somewhat challenging to just talk about bringing guys back. Kendricks could probably play in just about any system, though. So I get your point there. Let's go to Eric in North Carolina.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just want to throw out a new offensive line combination for next season, really. But I do like Hoffman at center and because he's really good at the combo blocks, and he's pretty mobile. And I'm thinking I do like BB as a player. He has a lot of tenacity. I think he would do better at guard. So what I'm thinking is, with where our draft position will probably be, I'm gonna say upper teens. I would draft a true offensive left tackle. Keep Tyler Smith at left guard, Hoffman at center, BB at right guard, and then Steele at right tackle, and Guyton is my swing tackle. And I just wanted to get your take on that, and hope you have a great day, sir.
Thank you. They're going to give Guyton every chance to be a starter. I mean, he's first-round pick that they knew would need some work. So I just don't see it. That might be what it ends up being, but they're going to try to find the right spot for Guyton. And maybe it's not left tackle, maybe it's right tackle, but he's going to be in the mix here. And he's too, he's got too much upside. That's why they drafted him. He's a big, tall guy. He's got some strength to him. He's just got to learn how to be a football player in the NFL. And he's just, and I think he will. I think he will play more this season, and I think the arrow will be pointed up for him. I really do. I think the last few games, I think he's going to show just enough to be like, all right, he'll be fine. Let's work with him. So one way or another, I think he needs to be factored in the mix. I'm not saying not draft someone. If it's a guard, I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine with whatever comes their way, whether it be tackle, cool, because I think that fixes a lot of problems. But I just think it's way too early to give up on Guyton, and I know the Cowboys don't do that with first round picks. And they didn't do that with Mozzie Smith. Obviously, they kept it rolling, kept going with him. They'll do that with Guyton. They'll get on the right course with him. He needs to have a good off season in the weight room. Really get his body right. You're never going to be like Tyron Smith, but he's got a ways to go. And so I think this will be a big off season for him. All right, it was a great show. You guys did really good. 10 calls. We love it. We will be back tomorrow. We'll talk about more about this Cowboys-Panthers game and what some of the guys we want to see moving forward here. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you tomorrow on the Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?